Hi folks, Robert Mantell here again with the Trichotillomania Relief Specialists. Well, we're continuing to get some very good questions at our questions and answers page located at our website at www.TRICH-FREE.com. Here's one that came in over this past week from Lucinda in Concord, New Hampshire. She says, "My 16-year-old daughter has been pulling her eyebrows and eyelashes since she was 6. There's almost nothing left to speak of. We've taken her everywhere we know of, and we've been at this for years. Unfortunately, all the therapy she's had has gotten her nowhere, and at this point we're left with the prospect of having no choice but to try medication. My husband and I have resisted all suggestions to use medication because we fear the possibility of unpleasant side effects, not to mention the fact that she might develop a dependence on medication even if it did work. Is there anything else that you know of short of medication that can help our daughter? We're at the end of our rope and desperate for any kind of help or information you can offer." Well, Lucinda, first of all, as parents ourselves, Glay and I hurt for you when we read these words. And it's not the first time we've been approached with stories like this. We're so sorry that you and your family have had to endure these problems for as long as you have. But hopefully what I'm going to share with you here can help you feel better about the prospects of relief for your daughter. The short answer to your question is yes, there are perfectly viable solutions for trichotillomania. Some of them that are outstanding and that have nothing at all to do with medication. Hopefully that's really great news for you. Now, that said, I'm going to respond to your question. I'm going to give you a little more detail in two different ways. First, I'm going to share with you information that's kind of commonly accepted among the medical and mental health communities is pretty much the way to go with this. And for that reason, a lot of this information is readily available over the internet. Next, though, I'm going to share with you something about the kind of work we do here at the Trichotillomania Relief Specialists. And I'm going to do my best to help you understand why, whether or not it represents the status quo, and believe me, it doesn't. I'm going to share with you why we believe our Accelerated Personal Breakthrough Coaching Program holds the greatest possible promise for quick, relatively simple, drug-free relief for most clients most of the time. So to begin with, there's something called cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT for short. And that's generally considered the gold standard for use with anxiety-related problems. While CBT is really kind of a catch-all term used to describe a class of specific treatment modalities, certain of these CBT approaches are considered most appropriate for example, trichotillomania. Among these are habit reversal training, commitment and acceptance therapy, and something called the comprehensive behavioral model. And there are others. A great place to learn more about these treatment approaches, if that's something you're interested in, would be at the Trichotillomania Learning Center's website at www.trich.org. Now, unfortunately, the fact is, trichotillomania as a disorder is a relatively underserved class of problems. And it's underserved in that there aren't really a lot of doctors and therapists that have a lot of experience working with this. In fact, I can't tell you how many times I've spoken with clients who told us they'd been in touch with God knows how many doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, and that they ended up thinking they knew more about trichotillomania than these doctors did. So the challenge here is, even though there are indeed some specific forms of CBT treatment that are considered the go-tos for this kind of thing among the conventional mental health community, it's still probably going to be very difficult to find someone in your neighborhood that has any real experience with it. And that probably means that if you have any intention of engaging specialized programs like these, there's probably going to be some travel involved and a lot of additional expense. Okay, so now, Lucinda, let's talk about our program. To begin with, I have two pieces of really good news for you. First, here at the Trichotillomania Relief Specialists, guess what? Well, just like the name suggests, we absolutely specialize in helping clients find relief from trichotillomania. It's all we do. So if it's specialists you're looking for, look no further. You've come to exactly the right place. The second piece of good news is if you decide you want our help, you don't even need to travel here to Southern California to get it. Nope. In fact, most of our coaching work is now done entirely remotely via Skype-based video conferencing. That means you can consult with us right from the comfort of your home or office. And yes, while we do occasionally see some clients in person here in Southern California, that's almost always at their specific request. The vast majority of clients are going to do just as well via Skype as they would in person. Okay, so what do we do over here that's so different? Well, in brief, here's what this is. Our simple approach focuses on what Glay and I like to call the two twin pillars of trichotillomania relief. There are only two major elements that, when properly handled, have the potential to lead our clients to profound change during the course of just their very first week with us, not the month or years, if ever, using more conventional approaches. So what are these two twin pillars? Well, let's see. What is the number one reason people tell us they continue to pull, even though they'd love to be free, they need to do that anymore? Well, invariably it's because they tell us they can't help it. Something compels them to pull against their will, or at least that's how it feels to them. In fact, we started work with a 12-year-old girl earlier this afternoon, and she's been pulling since she was 6 years old. And you could see the bald spots in her head from all the damage she's caused by all this pulling over all these years. When we asked her what stops her from just not pulling anymore, she said exactly this: she can't help it. So it would seem perfectly reasonable to us that the very first thing we should do is show our clients how they can easily exert almost effortless control over their pulling activity. And you know what's interesting? All of our clients have the ability within them right now to be able to do this. You do too. And this is great because you know what? We don't even have to give you that ability. You have it right now. Our job is to show you how to access that control button, so to speak, whenever you want. And we're going to get to this in just your very first session with us. Now, that's not bad, right? Okay, so now that's not all there is to it. After all, there is a second pillar of trichotillomania relief, and that has to do with the idea that people always do what they do for a reason. And that includes hair pulling. So what is that reason? Well, invariably it's going to be your brain's best way either to help you gain pleasure, at least in that moment, or perhaps it's your best attempt to avoid pain, again, at least in that particular moment. You see, with hair pulling, it can be both. Some people will literally tell us it feels good when they pull their hair. But the truth is, more often, most clients have learned to pull their hair as a way of escaping pain. Usually uncomfortable sensations like stress, pressure, overwhelm, or for some people, sadness, embarrassment, humiliation, frustration, or depression. For some people, it's boredom, tedium, or monotony. So here at the TRS, we understand that if we're going to be successful in helping our clients really effectively eliminate hair pulling as a way of trying to feel better, we're going to have to help them develop alternative ways of dealing with those unpleasant emotions. And when that happens, guess what? The cause of those urges goes away. When you've already handled the need that was underneath the development of those urges in the first place, and you've handled them in another way, there's no need for your brain to create them anymore. And we'll be addressing this in just your second session with us. In fact, these two twin pillars of trichotillomania relief, we'll get to both of them in just your very first week with us. So there you have it, Lucinda. This is the answer to your question. Are there things you can do to help your daughter find true freedom from trichotillomania without having to resort to medication? Well, the answer is a resounding yes. Now again, a little disclaimer for you though. We here at the TRS, we are not licensed medical or mental health professionals, so we would never think to tell you what you should or should not do with medication should your appropriately licensed therapist or medical doctor suggest it for you. That's not what we do here. Regardless though, the proof is in the pudding. There are ways of getting this thing handled that do not require the use of medication. Our uniquely powerful accelerated personal breakthrough technology stands out as a shining example of this. Now, if we can help provide you, Lucinda, or you, our viewer, with more information about this, do feel free to visit our website at www.TRICH-FREE.com. You can also contact us by telephone at any time of day or night, toll-free at 866-LIFE-NOW. While you're at our website, do feel free to check out our very extensive success stories area, in which you'll find dozens of heartfelt testimonials written by folks just like you who found that no, they did not need to resort to medication after all in order to resolve their challenges with hair pulling. Not even close. In fact, most of the stories you'll read recount in glowing terms how remarkably quickly and easily they found relief, even after years of effort elsewhere, and many even after years of having been prescribed and many actually taking a variety of medications, all to no avail. If you're watching this video at our blog site, please feel free to leave a comment or ask a question, or feel free to share your reaction to what we have to say. If you found this video at our Facebook community page, there's the web address. Please do feel free to like this video and be good enough to share it with friends or anyone else you think you know who could really benefit from the insight and the information we're sharing here. If you're watching this video at our YouTube channel, please also feel free to like this video and to subscribe to our channel so you can be notified anytime a new video is released. You can also find us on Twitter if you have a Twitter account or if you follow it at all at TRICH-FREE TRS. And if you'd like to receive notification by email whenever we have a new video or other helpful news or information, you can always subscribe to our weekly e-newsletter at our website, again at www.trick-free.com. That's it for now. Again, this is Robert Mantell with the Trichotillomania Relief Specialists. I hope you found this video helpful and informational. I want to thank you for watching, and here's wishing you an amazing trick-free week.